Hello, hi, and welcome back to Wintertime Flowers. I hope that you are doing well. I'm just popping open another one of those crisp Arizona green teas with the ginseng in it at 10 o'clock at night, because that is the only thing that can soothe these delicate vocal cords that are going to be regaling you with a story about gay girls. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. The last time we were together, we were the gang. Basically kind of spent the whole time doing everything they could to get Suoh in fighting spirit, to get her up and raring and ready to go for what she's gonna need to do, but they don't even know what she needs to do because she ain't talking to them, and I don't know that that's gonna work out so great for her, and I also don't know that they're gonna let her get away with it, so let's just jump right back in and see. I start to daydream just like I do when I'm working in the library. I think back on the flower I found yesterday when I went back to visit Suoh Basquiat's grave. That's right, we found the Angraecum flower, which happens to be growing in the greenhouse, which Dahlia happened to be attending to. Well, isn't that a coinky-dink? I don't want to spoil anybody on anything, but I don't know that that's going to be much of a coinky-dink. In the language of flowers, it means prayer. I know nothing about Suoh Basquiat other than his name, yet it seems to me a perfectly fitting flower to place at his grave. And Suoh is still on this, I'm pretty sure it's a dude and Dahlia's stepdad or whatever thing. I just don't know. Again, the way that epitaph's written feels very feminine to me, but maybe I'm confirming to gender norms a little too much. Maybe that's on me. Maybe the story will be like, ha-ha! It was totally a dude the whole time. And all of that commentary you did about it sounding like a little girl. You're a gigantic doofus, Polly. That's the only conclusion we can really draw from it. While it's still only conjecture, after finding the same flower in the greenhouse after she disappeared from sight, I'm sure it's her who's tending to it. Still, it's not a conclusion arrived at via intuition, but conjecture based on the circumstances. Hey! She's lost in thought. She's talking out loud.
Suoh-san?
This time, it's intuition that brings me to my answer. She won't tell me anything. Telling me about Suoh Basquiat would mean revealing her secrets.
Suoh-san, 調子が悪いの?
The sudden sensation of a hand on my shoulder brings me back to my senses, and I look up into my amitie's concerned face. She probably heard some of that, because as we know, Suoh, not a quiet thinker.
何度も呼びかけたけれど、返事がなかったから気分が優れないのかって。大丈夫？平気よ。ただぼーっとしていたの。あまりに人が来ないから。そう。
I glance around the deserted library to prove my point, but she's still regarding me with suspicion. Hey, there's sirens! We're being arrested for gay crimes again. This is so absolutely the worst way to be handling this.
確かに全然利用者がいないわね。冬休みの間も図書委員のお仕事しなくてはいけないの？レファレンスのようなことはしないけれど、貸し出しは行っているの。お休みの間はカードを机の上のそこの箱に入れてもらって。
And write down the books they're borrowing in this notebook, I finish.
それだったら、スオさんが来ることはないんじゃないの？
I set the notebook and the cards side by side.
このカードと貸し出した日付がわかるノートを見比べて超過していた場合は返却をお願いし
Issue a
てくだ
right.
さい。
Is it a stern reminder? I can't imagine it is. While Rika-san voices her understanding, she still doesn't look entirely satisfied by my explanation. She looks between me and the box on the desk. Then, as though searching my face for a sign, she questions me.
あのね、もしかして何か悩んでいることがあるんじゃない？
No, no, couldn't be anything.
何を？私にはその何かを思いつかないけれど、大切なことを隠しているって。もしそうなら話してほしいの。
Her earnest gaze bores into me.
話してもいいかもしれない。
There you go. There's the right track. We're on it. You found it. I think for a split second, but then
悩みなんてないわ。
Nandemonai! 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 There is no phrase in anime or visual novels that has caused more problems than Nandemonai. Nothing! There is not a single phrase that is more responsible for the upheaval of so many situations. It's nothing. It's nothing. Nandemonai.
本当？本当よ。ただぼーっとしていただけ。お腹が空きすぎちゃっていたからかもしれないわ。
You are so bad at this. I force a smile to my face, and the tension finally eases with Rika-san's, well, you say so.
ここへ来たのもお昼を誘いに来たのよ。お仕事は中断して食べに行きましょう。
With a cheerful smile, she shakes my hand in hers. Her hand is warm. But even as I sense her kindness through her gentle touch, I'm thinking back to the chilliness I felt that day. That night, when despite sweating in the warm air under my raincoat, I was frozen solid at the core.
もう一度かの夜に立ち返られなくてはならない。
I hold very strongly to that belief. Even as I smile at my amitié partner, my mind is back in that midsummer night. The midsummer night. The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them. I mean, yeah, that's really the best way to go about it. There's no better direct approach. As the cold wind chills my face and the snow crunches beneath my feet, I think of Hemingway's words.
私は傲慢だわ。
I came to the doors of the academy seeking friendship, yet here I am, deceiving the very friends I found. The best friends a girl could ask for. Friends who care for me, who would do anything for me.
私が最も嫌いなものに。
Yeah, kind of. I trudge along the snowy moonlit path, my mind caught in a turmoil of contradictions. Conflicting emotions burn within me as I make my way toward my destination. In searching for the clues that might lead me to my missing amitié, I have become a specter. I'm in the classroom where Sister Basquiat once claimed that she had been attacked by the Hookman. A lie. At the time, I'd carefully examined the room for clues. However, I was unable to unearth any new discoveries. Back then, I went over the room with a fine-tooth comb. But now, armed with the key given to me by Yatsushiro-senpai, I figure I might be able to find something new by approaching it from a different angle.
何も得るものがなかった。
Yeah, I know, yeah, we're back in here where we got the painting on Earth as it is in heaven. But I can't imagine we're going to turn up much of anything in here. In the end, I'm unable to discover anything in the room. Even so, with my heart aflame like this, I don't feel I can simply go back to the dormitory with my where my amitié partner awaits. Which is why I'm now standing here in the darkened art room, my mind still in turmoil. This is the place I'd once been desperate to enter in order to dig into my amitié's past. Now, as president of the Council of Nikaya, the clubroom keys are in my charge, and I can slip in without any issue. Glancing at the clock on the wall to make sure it's not time for the staff to patrol, I walk over to where the paintings were stacked in a corner awaiting disposal. Okay, so they've already been disposed of. The paintings have already been disposed of. Game, you gotta stop doing that every time I say something. All of them are gone except for the paintings I'm holding on to. The paintings with the message, Mayuri's paintings. A series of works depicting the Holy Family. I recall how my heart pounded when I first came across them, and how I felt when I'd found the message she left for me. That was my first instinct. I felt that she was reaching out to me. As I appreciate her study of the Virgin Mary, I think of her. Smart, sweet, and kind, brimming with vitality, her slender frame hummed with energy. She wasn't the most expressive girl, so each genuine smile from her was like a miracle. It brightened the very air around you. Aww. We found one another in the darkened library, lit only by the silvery moon. On that night, we came together. No, stop. Stop it, Polly! You can't do this! No, Polly, this is a... They said it, not me. Look, I think that they've been a little honest that they were maybe a little more handsy than normal in the library, okay? On the night we came together, I'm sure we both felt like we'd never parted. And yet, Mayuri disappeared without a word. I'm suddenly reminded of Mozart's The Magic Flute. A prince and a princess join hands to overcome trials of fire and water in a journey of love, justice, and mutual understanding. I was once alone, and in her I found someone that I could entrust myself to. Then I abruptly lost her, and now I seek her again, like the protagonist in so many a cliche tale. That's why I thought of the magic flute. What? Yo, did somebody come in here? A sudden noise freezes me to the spot. The wind? I thought it sounded like a door opening, but I maybe just didn't catch it because I was sitting here running my stupid mouth. My senses tell me that it was a sound made by a person. I feel a presence behind that noise. My heart is in my throat. My whisper echoes through the deserted art room with startling volume. Then, I call out into the art room. No, they're not there. They're out in the corridor, or in the prep room, or perhaps in the empty adjacent classroom. Either way, I sense the presence of a sentient being other than myself. It's the kind of insight that only comes when my senses are sharpened to a pinpoint. My words permeate the empty space. What's brought back to me in their place is a sense of agitation, a shared mood that could only be experienced here in this place in the dark of night. I choose my words carefully. Anxiety has dried my throat. Because she is close enough to hear me, but depending on what I say, she could be gone in an instant. What?
シオンバスケの墓を見つけた。
Oh dear! You're just going all in? I tell her about the grave and its epitaph, then...
台座に置かれていたアングレカムの花。あれは
Oh, is this like... This feels weirdly like a declaration of war. I speak under the supposition that the person lurking here is Sister Basquiat. My words dissolve into silence. My question hangs in the air, yet I feel that the other person is still there, stuck for an answer. Wrapped in the close, intimate shroud of darkness, I wait for them, for her to speak. Then... What? What? Whoa, 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 whoa. No, run that. Hello? What? Someone, somewhere in the darkness says my name. Could they tell it was me from my voice? Then is the hidden person Dahlia Basquiat as I supposed, or could it be someone else who knows me well? Ah! My brain begins to speculate at top speed, but the way her voice said Suoh, I recognize it. Could it be? Could it be? No. The discordant feeling wow, you messed that one up. The discordant feeling that's simply the interpretation I want to be true rears up at me like a wave, then quickly dissipates. But yep. What? What? We are this close? My beloved, there's no way I'd mistake the voice of the girl I love. My voice quavers. Quavers? Or is it quivers? Is quavers a word? I'm gonna blame this on localizers making up words that don't exist again, because I have literally never seen the word quavers in my life. So I'm gonna be ignorant and not look it up and just assume that quivers is what we meant. The cold is gone. The dark has vanished. Sweat blooms on my brow. My feet aren't on solid ground. I feel as though I'm floating. Again, I hear Mayuri's voice. Dude, what? Dude, what? She's like in the other room? Dude, go over there. You got the keys, don't you? You're in the Council of Nikaya. The girl I've been searching for. Mayuri Kosaka's voice reaches my ears from beyond the single wall between us. At the sound of it, the tension releases from my body and my feet come back to earth as a euphoric joy washes over me. Mayuri, 本当にあなたなのね。よかった。消えてひどいことをされているのだと思って。なぜ黙って消えてしまったの？何かお家の事情が、何か口にできない理由があったのでしょう。私、あなたのことをずっと探していたのよ。あなたを求めてニカイアの会の会長にまでなった。内気で引っ込み思案な私が今ニカイアの会の会長をしているの。It really does point, you know, it really does get the point across of how far she's come. リッカさんは副会長になって支えてくれているのよ。God, listen to like that emotion in her voice. Man, voice actors just killed it here, dude. It's just like, this literally sounds like that moment you meet someone you've been wanting to see for so long and you're just like gushing everything at them. Oh my God, like she is speaking in a register that is so unnatural for Suoh, but it works in this moment because she cannot hold this emotion in. Oh, it's so good. I continue talking to the wall. While no response comes, I sense that she's still there on the other side, listening. Euphoria buoys me up, knowing that Mayuri is hearing my voice. My ears catch her faint whisper, and I pause, waiting for her to go on. What? Alright, so I'm gonna need you to great teacher Onizuka this wall. There are many blunt objects in this room that you could use with which to bust through this damn wall. This girl is literally on the other side of this wall. Break down this damn wall!
私、何か気に障ることを言って。ありがとう。
Oh. Her gratitude is a non sequitur. Oh. What? You're like literally one room over. What is going on, dude? Those smooth words tell me that she has no intention of coming back. Her presence gradually fades along with the intimate atmosphere. The person I love is moving away from me. As much as I long to chase after her, my feet won't obey. After hearing her voice, my body won't listen to me. For the sunny Mayuri Kosaka I knew has become a completely different person. When I finally force out the words, my voice is hoarse as an old woman's. I grip my chest tightly, holding my frozen heart. Her presence is gone. I'm simply shouting into the void she left behind. I hear the song of a night bird, an ominous warbling that crushes all emotion when I realize it's the sound of my own weeping. The cold and silence rush back in and the world returns to normal. Oh, you are unloved. Suoh Shirahane remembers the person who always said that to her. Painstakingly, deliberately. It crushed her heart to pieces until her father noticed something was wrong. Oh, shit. Here we go, dude. Oh, this is not... Oh, God. This girl already has so much bad going on already. She is already trying to, like, hide so much. She's trying to take on so much by herself. And cool, hey, here's stepmom again. Yay! I mean, we knew that that wasn't something that was just gonna be, you know, dunzo in the spring, right? You don't get over trauma like that in a couple of seasons. That's the kind of trauma that sticks with you for the rest of your life, and you learn to deal with it. So it's only natural that it would come out now when she is in the middle of, like, what could be described as the most emotional, holy horse shit of her life. Directly into Suoh Shirahane's ear, in a tone more intimate than Mayuri's, more intimate than anyone's, her stepmother whispered to her. Well, that sucks. Oh, that's a hell of a note to end a chapter on. Among Natsume Soiseki's collected works was a story called The Miner. After a failed relationship, a young man decides to give up on everything he has and leave home. As he's wandering around with no clear destination in mind, he meets someone who talks him into coming to work at a mine. During his 5 months working in the mine town, the man meets various people. Then, as suddenly as being shaken awake from a dream, the story ends with the young man returning home. I see what we're doing here! The person I love found the tale interesting for its detailed portrayal of a life that is now, in modern times, almost unimaginable. She also felt both fear and reassurance at the young man's lack of growth. Though he changed where he lived, his job, and the people he associated with, though he endured hardship, ultimately the man's way of thinking didn't change at all. Between the beginning of the story and the end, he underwent no great character transformation. Change is often spoken of as a good thing, but at the Academy, I've learned that it requires effort to stay the same, too. The story that begins now is that of a foolish girl who locked away her unchanging feelings like specimens trapped behind glass. I see what we're doing here with revisiting these stories. This is very good stuff. Don't worry, I'm not gonna drop you off now. We've only been going for like 20 minutes or something. We're gonna get more out of this. Don't worry. We don't do short episodes around these parts. At least not for this series. Winter vacation is over and the new school term has begun. Since today is the first day of term, as the president of the Council of Nikaya, I have to make a speech. I must brace myself and do what needs to be done. Nevertheless, I am a mass of barely supposed oppositional conjunctions. I wake up every morning like that. Standing before, we're gonna get the winter uniforms, let's go! Standing before the boxes with my name neatly written on them, I feel calm and detached. No. A chance meeting with my beloved Amitie in the night before last. That night I was, however briefly, reunited with Mayuri Kosaka, the girl I've been seeking. I fired my words, my questions, at her through a wall in rapid succession, trying to make up for all the lost time between us, but she wants to be forgotten. That's such an interesting response. And it's like, she knew Suoh was gonna be there? Did she just happen to be there? Is this where she... There's so many questions here. There's so much for the brain to chew on in just this very nearly one-sided interaction, I think. The softness of her words told me that she wanted to leave me. Impassively, I opened the box and examined the contents. Inside the bright white box lies a dark uniform, the contrast, like night and day. I take out the predominantly black outfit and hold it before myself in front of the mirror. Oof. Perfectly suited to my current mood. A splash of pure white across the collar provides the only offset to the darker shades. I open the other two boxes. Inside one are 2 pairs of shoes. Inside the other is a uniform for outdoor use, along with 2 capes and barrettes in the same color. This uniform sounds real snazzy. I'm already here for it. Mechanically, I shrug out of my nightwear and put on my winter uniform. Having been made to measure, the clothes fit like a glove. Stepping into the brand new shoes, I feel them comfortable as a pair of well-worn favorites. Yo, this looks dope! I mean, she's not wrong though. It does kind of weirdly look like morning clothes. Clad in my winter outfit, I gaze at my reflection in the mirror. I look like I'm ready to attend a funeral. You're not wrong! It's like the thing's been tailored from my innermost feelings. I say her name to myself. Spring passed by, summer faded, autumn called, winter covered all. Even as the seasons passed, I never forgot about her. Behind my eyelids is burned the image of Mayuri smiling beneath the cherry trees. That you did. I would say maybe phrasing, but, let's not split toothpicks here. Without resorting to thoughtless words, I said I would come for her. Realizing that truth had calmed me, my heart, shaded like the dark side of the moon, has taken on a fiery glow. I know that Mayuri wants me to save her. I mean, she did say to forget her. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's something in thinking about that at face value first. I mean, maybe forget me is a little extreme, but we are dealing with teenagers. But she said those words for my sake. No, the goddess of truth made her say them. Behind pain lies truth. That's what my stepmother taught me. Oh, okay. Yeah. I snap at the mere specter of my stepmother and her unpleasant words, and I vow to become stronger. Strong enough to bring Mayuri back from the clutches of the goddess of truth. After glaring at the weak self I see reflected, I turn toward the bed to wake Rika-san up from her slumber. When I open the door to the classroom for the first time since before the break, all eyes turn to me. Then everyone starts to talk excitedly with their Amitie partners. Yeah, you are Miss Popular now. Not that she hasn't been this whole goddamn time. Like, literally everybody rightfully loves Suoh Shirahane. Winter vacation began right after the elections ended, and I became president. The fact that fact still hasn't really sunk in for me, and probably even less so for my classmates. Yo, I'm gonna say that's Erika. Yeah, okay. Yo, you looking spiffy. Look at you. It suits her. I like it. Are you for real? Running her eyes over me from head to toe, she regards me with disgruntlement. Why do you look good in literally everything? Oh, that's really a bummer. We're not gonna get to see her in this damn uniform. Oh, that bums me out. I can feel my face flushing hot with embarrassment at her compliment. Yeah, you do. Hell yeah. She looks great. Nah. I'm about to say something to try to wipe that frown from her face when... Spotting me as soon as they enter the classroom, the twins come dashing over. Yo, we got the Chan in there this time. Nice work. It looks pretty good on Ringo, too. I think this is a pretty good outfit. I think everybody's gonna look pretty solid in it. Yeah, she looks absolutely lovely. Is today T's Suoh Day? More stares are converging on me as the twins loudly sing my praises. I can feel myself starting to sweat under their gazes. That's not shocking. Oh, look at this! That's a very cute little blush. Knowing my kind amitié partner as I do, she was surely speaking the truth. Still, it's definitely an exaggeration. The twins are circling around me, giving their thoughts on all the aspects of my outfit. I'm wondering how best to get them to stop when... Told y'all, this girl is rocking it right now. I hear my amitié partner's voice. It's followed by the voice with a slight edge to it. How's it going, Chidori? Get in here. With a feline smile, Erika-san directs her comment to Takasaki-san, who's standing beside Rika-san. You were captured by her? What's she going to do? Just running up and down the hall, grabbing everybody she can find. Have you seen Suoh in this fucking winter outfit? Good God. Just grabbing everybody by the lapel, pulling them into the classroom. Look at her. Be amazed. Be astounded, but don't you dare touch. Trailing off the stairs at me with a faraway look in her eye, then turns to Rika-san. Just running around the school telling everybody, hey, have you seen it? In a quiet squeak, I tell the triumphant Rika-san to stop it. I mean, it's a good uniform, but maybe don't make me out, you know, maybe don't parade me around like a trophy, I guess. She puffs her chest out proudly. Although Takasaki-san's brow furrows, she nods her assent. Oh, yeah! Look at her go! Working it in there smooth like butter, baby. Oh, she totally got KO'd there! She was not expecting it. I wonder if they shared some private conversation before arriving at the classroom. Rika-san turns her eyes appraisingly over Erika as she sits frozen in her chair. Are you saying that oh God. Rika, careful, that your next answer could get you body slammed through a desk or three. Get me out of this, get me out of this, get me out of this. I'm tired. Nope. This girl is doing everything she can. She's like, right now, she has never wanted an electric wheelchair more in her life. To just get out of here as quickly as possible. Strap some rockets on that damn thing. Takasaki-san glares threateningly at Rika-san, who's standing with her hand on her chin. Then she turns to me. Oh God. Oh God. You know, they say like, no, don't. Suoh, no. Suoh, I need you to find a very clever way out of this situation. You know what? I'm gonna say she looks lovely. Bowing to her pressure, I take another look at Erika-san. I say. There you go. Erika is the best looking girl in the winter outfits. Let's go, everybody. Although I think she looked really good in the autumn outfit too. It's just something about the autumn outfit really kind of suited her. I liked it. She's not exaggerating. This girl cannot take this stuff at all. Like genuine compliments, attention. No, get her out of there. She, very much like Suoh, she may very well combust. She must be painfully aware of how Takasaki-san's exclamations are drawing the gazes of our classmates. She scratches her head, her cheeks flush. I like that, like Chidori just does not give a shit if people know they're dating. Like, she is just like, whatever, dog. Is what it is. Do you have a problem? I will actually literally clothesline you through the chalkboard if you want to make a big deal out of it. And I think she could. Determined, I take a step towards her wheelchair. Huh? I hear a murmured thanks from behind me as I block her from the stares of our classmates. Oh, so cute. You'll love to see it. Now is no time to think of what you do have. Think of what you do not have. Think of what you can do with what there is. I always think of this quote when I find myself in some situation. Yeah, you've got some pieces here to work with. It's just we still don't know how to utilize them in a way that may bear fruit. I recite the familiar phrase to myself. Surrounded on all sides by horrors, I think back to how I got here. Uh-oh, is this another one of those situations where we got volunteered for something? After delivering her New Year's greetings and expressing her delight to see us again at the start of this new term, and then delivering her usual sermon, Sister Basquiat had an announcement to make. A new class? All right, let's go. What's it gonna be? Curious chatter filled the classroom as Mika-san raised her hand. Sister Basquiat's brow furrowed slightly as she responded. Moral education. Moral education? We didn't draw an extra teacher sprite. It's okay. Smiling brightly, she continued on. The most beneficial. Oh, don't be a boring Bible class. So a subject that fell under the umbrella of morality in the broadest sense of the word. Accordingly, my first thought was that perhaps we would be learning the skills necessary for volunteer work, but now is no time to think of what you do not have. Think of what you can do with what there is. Suddenly, the phrase I turn to whenever something unexpected happens flashes through my mind. Sister Basquiat was still smiling genially. The specimen room? What is the specimen room? It's very blurry. I think we got glaucoma along the way. Oh, God! Yeah, she don't want to be here. The detestable words leave a nasty taste in my mouth. As might have been expected from the word specimen, I'm now surrounded by displays of dead flowers, plants, and insects. Yeah, this is the last place this girl wants to be. No, there's a duck! No! Poor friend. Our poor duck friend. He will be our poor dead duck friend. I will love him forever, and I'm naming him Leonard. I've been trying to keep my gaze fixed firmly on the desk, but while Sister Basquiat is speaking, I'm compelled to look up at her. Screwing up my courage, I raise my hand only to find a dead scarab beetle staring reproachfully back at me.
標本室の棚を見ると綺麗な石とか化石とかもありますけど、これも標本なのですか？
標本制作には標本師と呼ばれる職業があります。あまり知られてはいませんが。
Her gaze flicks the display of fossils Ichigo-san has indicated.
標本作業に携わる標本師ですが、すべての標本を一人で行うのではありません。扱う標本の性質から3つの分野があります。その3つは生物学標本師、地学標本師、医学標本師と分けられます。佐々木さんが挙げられた化石は地学標本の分野になります。
It's a rather long-winded explanation, but Ichigo-san nods enthusiastically.
標本と聞いてみんなが思い浮かべるのは昆虫の標本でしょうが、お花や鉱物、それに書物までと多岐にわたります。
Books! Alright, you know what? Books. I can do those. I don't know that I want to, we can't dissect a book. I mean, I suppose you could, but I don't know that that would be a very fruitful endeavor. But I could store some books. I'm a librarian, if you didn't know. Yeah, just assign me to the wherever the books are. Put me there.
本を標本か。何でもありなんだな。急にやる気になったわね。
標本学は思い出を固着させるものなの。皆さんの学院の思い出もこの教科を学ぶことでより深いものとなることでしょう。
My classmates are looking interestedly around the displays in the room. Minerals and plants are all well and good, but the majority of the display space is taken up by...
白羽。
Yeah, I don't want to be here.
緊張しているみたいだけどな。大丈夫だ。ここにいるやつはみんな。
I don't know, dude. Dead bugs are still creepy. Erika-san, who knows how much I hate insects, offers some reassurance. But I don't dislike insects because of the harm that they do. It's their very existence. I'm very bug phobic. I don't even care if that's problematic. Suoh's gonna get canceled over being bug phobic. From under the desk, she brings out a small wooden box containing more bugs! The ones that I especially love! She hands the box to the nearest student, her instructions to pass it on to the next person after you've had a look ringing cruelly in my ears. Butterflies are the most problematic insect for me. Cancel butterflies. Hashtag cancel butterflies. Go post that on Twitter. I will actually look up that hashtag the night that this episode goes out to see if anybody actually did that. Watching the box gradually drawing closer, I feel sweat erupt across my forehead. How awful! This isn't any tiny gossamer wing, but a huge snowtail butterfly. A slight smell. Good. Good. Naphthalene is used in case... Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. The twins nod, staring intently at the specimen. You're so brave. Doing the best I can over here, Chief. I mean, why wouldn't I be? Who doesn't like bugs? They're just stupid little creepy, crawly, weird things, even when they're dead. I'm not thinking about them crawling into my mouth while I'm sleeping or anything. No, I'm very not doing well. I'm very not doing good here. I'm aware that I'm sweating. I feel the specter of that blue butterfly that once landed on my finger. Look, let's just go over here and talk to Leonard. Leonard will help us get our minds off of the bugs. Can we just like bring Leonard over to the desk and have him sit there and hang out with us? We can just chill with Leonard. Nika-san's cool fingers drift across my moist forehead, and I feel terrible that I've dirtied her with my sweat. She pulls out a handkerchief and mops my brow. My skin feels cold in its wake. I whisper my thanks in a tiny voice. Ah, no! The girl in the seat in front of me turns and nonchalantly hands me the slim box. I throw that sumbitch out the window. Reflexively, I take it from her. Then I freeze, staring down at the enormous blue butterfly, my gaze pinned to it in the same way that the insect is pinned to the card.
Suoh-san?
Yeah, oh, she's gonna faint. She's gonna faint! I can hear someone speaking loudly beside me, but the sound scarcely reaches me. The only noise in my ears is the high metallic whine you hear when listening to absolute silence. That's called tinnitus, and you should probably get your ears checked if you're hearing that all the time, like I do sometimes, which is not good because I'm also an audio engineer, so I've got to keep that in check. Oh no! Oh no! Oh! I clamp both hands over my ears. The box tumbles to the desk and the box tumbles to the desk. It's clatter. No. My own cry plummeting the room into an icy silence. Nothing. I'm not freaked out by weird insects or visions of my stepmother, who was very abusive toward me. Seeing that the impact of the fall had knocked the butterfly loose, I realize I've done something terrible. Regret washes over me.
誤って落としてしまったのでしょう。標本は直すことができます。それよりも、怪我はしていないのね。
It's nice that she cares, because I've actually seen science teachers get real mad when students kind of break things that they've not been taught specifically how to use very well. And yeah, definitely a case of the teacher being way more angry about it than the student probably deserved, because the teacher didn't, somebody didn't blow up a Bunsen burner, but they definitely burned it out. And it was definitely the teacher's fault for not teaching them how to use it. I don't remember exactly what caused it, but I do remember it kind of just like, it was like the flame shot down through, and then it just poof, a smoke came right out. And it was just like, it acted like it was the student's fault for doing it, but it was just literally like, dude, I don't think that there's anything that student did, like, unless you taught them wrong, or unless that thing was already ready to die. But like, the looked like the flame went down first and then poofed up. It was very weird. Has nothing to do with anything going on in this story now, but sometimes I am just want to tangent, and you are unfortunately going to be subject to that. But I mean, why am I saying that now when we are literally like on the last game? Concern shining in her eyes, she takes my hand to check for cuts. Guilt wells up inside of me, and a shudder runs down my spine at the lingering note of that woman's voice in my ears. Oh. Lowering my head, I carefully make sure that the butterfly rests outside of my field of view, but it feels as though that woman is lurking somewhere in the classroom, and I keep my head down and my gaze fixed on my feet until the last echoes of her voice fade. It's gonna be rough. As I lie in bed in the nurse's office, I think back to the day I went to live with my grandfather. It was a winter's day very much like today, with snow falling thickly from the sky as though the flakes were on a set trajectory straight from heaven to earth. The only sound in the room was the whistling of the kettle set atop the kerosene stove. My grandfather, who'd been a doctor before he retired, took my hand in his and said to me, "You can't run from your emotional trauma." I mean, yeah, It's definitely something like you're going to be forced to face it. Like, emotional trauma is something you just don't run away from or turn your back on. Those are things you're going to have to face at some point. Even after my father divorced her and she was out of my life, I still feared my stepmother. But that day, my grandfather spoke to me like an equal. He told me that while I couldn't run from it or forget about it completely, he could teach me techniques that I could use to banish the shadow of my stepmother from my mind. A mental wound is just like a physical one. It won't heal with simple platitudes or one-off emotional breakthrough. He went on. Like a flesh wound, mental trauma takes time to heal, but heal it does. And I will be here to help you in that healing process. And I give Rika-san, who's come to pick me up, a nod.
まだ足元がおぼつかないし、もう少し保健室で休ませてもらってもよかったんじゃない？平気よ。お昼いっぱい寝ていたのだもの。これ以上休んだら逆に頭が痛くなってしまうわ。
When I force a smile, Rika-san nods her assent, although she still looks concerned. When I closed my eyes to sleep, the conversation with my grandfather came back to me. Perhaps because of all the time I spent in my memories before drifting off, after awakening from my shallow slumber, my mind still feels hazy. Gazing out at the snow through the window, I think back on that day when I revealed my loathing of butterflies.
スオさん、やっぱりまだ休んだ方が。
Rika-san gently takes me by the arm. I'm about to repeat that I'm fine when someone calls her name from behind in a somewhat harried tone.
スワブキさん、どうしたの？
Suobuki-soon! Suobuki-san! Soon? Suobuki-soon. Yeah, it's smart. Like somebody who's never fucking read Japanese in their life, despite the fact that I helped localize in 2010, but whatever. Our classmate Suobuki-san is at the other end of the corridor. She comes trotting up to us like a puppy, then addresses Rika-san as vice president. Oh! Ah!
その言い方だと、
Wait,
二階屋の会の用向きかしら。
are you? I think I know you? It sounds like you're here on official.
はい。王室でのことでご相談があるので。
She's even got a voice. I'm shocked. She says, giving me a quick bow. The general clerk. Okie doke. Back at the start of autumn, she had been involved in the shapeshifter incident. Yeah, that's right. I thought she looked familiar. She's the one that did it. Yeah, she's the one that like ripped up her Amitie's dress because she kind of got left out of the, you know, she became the third wheel in her Amitie, so she ripped up one of the other's dress out of jealousy and then faked being attacked. I thought her hair looked familiar. She's very cute. Back at the start of autumn, she had been involved in the shapeshifter incident incited by the romantic rivalry within her Amitie group. In overthinking things, I complicated the matter. Yatsushiro-senpai resolved it. However, since she made the choice to keep the truth of the incident to herself, it never came to light. And then she...
スオさん、温室でのこと、ダリア先生から聞いている？そう。ガーデニングの授業で使うだろうから、まずはダリア先生に話を通しに行かないと。
Suobuki-san regards Rika-san respectfully as she deliberates. Perhaps Rika-san has figured that Suobuki-san must find it painful being around her Amitie partners after being rejected romantically. And maybe that's why she recommended her for the position of general clerk on the council. Oh, that makes sense! She just like she understood that this girl had kind of been in a similar situation that she was in, and was just like, look, you need something in your life. You need something that's gonna put you around people, so that you're not just like around them all the time. That's actually really good. Like, wow, smart thinking. And again, that just comes from her own experience, I think. In any case, Tsuwabuki-san is eternally grateful to Rika-san and acts as her right-hand woman.
本当にリカさんは気遣いのできる人だわ。それではこの件はスオさん
I'm gonna take it that we keep flashing back to CG with her because we probably don't have sprites for her. That's the vibe I'm starting to get.
いえ、白羽会長のお手を煩わすことはありません。私と
But me and you are gonna do this together. Just me and you. Oh, I'm already getting the vibe from this girl. Not, she's obviously very grateful for Rika for, you know, taking up for her, kind of like giving her something to do. I'm pretty sure there's already something floating here. She just already has that vibe of I am Rika's guard dog. Do not mess with her. There will be consequences. We don't need dumb old Suoh. It's just me and you, Rika. Come on, let's go. For some reason, Tsuwabuki-san fixes me with a half-pleading, half-reproving stare. There you go. Look at this. Suoh picking up on vibes, knowing exactly what needs to be done. That's my girl.
それじゃすぐ保健室へ。寮に戻って休むから平気よ。諏訪吹さんが話していた件は悪いのだけど、お二人に任せていいかしら。それは別に構わないのだけど。任せてください。
Yeah, listen to how excited she is. Now this is the part where Suoh just kind of gives Tsuwabuki a wink.
ちょっと。
Watching her take Rika-san by the hand and hurry off with her, I put my hand softly to my chest, wondering how widely the wound I carry has been torn open. After confirming that it's not as bad as it was when I first came to live with my grandfather, I head back to the dorms, returning the students' greetings as they pass me by. Gokigenyo! Or rather, I wander off without any clear destination in mind. I want to dispel the nausea that's gnawing at my stomach. As I'm walking slowly to the entrance hall under the watchful gaze of the Virgin Mary,
エリカさん。
hey, it's my girl. I happen to cross paths with Erika-san.
危ないところだった。行き違いになるところだったぜ。
せっかくお料理を作ってもらったのに冷めたらいけないものね。
Aww. Seeing my curious look, Erika-san raises a paper bag sitting on her lap.
このままじゃ昼飯を食い逃すと思って。
Look at these people. They care so much about her.
もしかして私のために。もしかしなくてもお前
I
だよ。
was bringing it to you.
委員長がもう持って行ってたか？
Shaking my head, I tell her that Rika-san had been taken away by Tsuwabuki-san and to do council stuff.
佐々木姉の話もまんざら嘘でもないみたいだな。
いちごさん、白羽さんも大きなアドバンテージがあるからって油断してたらダメってことよ。
I tilt my head, unsure exactly what she's trying to say.
これ白羽さんに BLT サ
Yo!
ービスよ。
Yeah! Dang it, I'm gonna have to get me a BLT tomorrow. That is like the best advert. Like, man, every time they've mentioned a BLT in this series, I've just been like, yeah, I gotta get one tomorrow. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna like I'm just gonna like stop by like Subway and get one, because there's another place that I could go get them that's a little further out, but that's like not just, you know, fast food. It's made with love and care. But don't know that I want to travel all that far tomorrow. I got a whole bunch of other things going on. I reach out to take the proffered paper bag.
おい待てよ。 白羽には私が用意した昼食をって決めただろ。それは私の BLT サンドだぞ。そうだったかしら。別にどっちだって構わないじゃない。ね。
Takasaki-san looks at me, eyebrows raised. You know what? I'm gonna just nom on them both. I'm so hungry, I could eat 2 big-ass sandwiches. Takasaki-san's eyes widen, but Erika-san looks relieved for some reason. Growing girl. I've been skipping a lot of meals lately. With that, she passes me her own paper bag. Nausea still pulls in the pit of my stomach like an oil slick, but... And sometimes, you know, getting a little something in your stomach can kind of help with that type of nausea, because I've definitely had like panic attacks where that came with some nausea, and that's definitely been something I've had to do, is like, just, you know what, just force yourself to eat a little something, and it actually ends up being really helpful in the end. Feeling pressured by the situation, I went and said I'd eat them both. Forcing a smile, I take the other paper bag, also containing a BLT sandwich. Well, I'm grateful for the invitation. Oh, are you gonna do it? Are you just gonna do it? The truth is, I don't have any such appointment, but after my interaction with Rika-san earlier, the first thing that pops into my mind. Don't! Erika-san has her hand on the rim of her wheel, ready to move, but her amitié partner stops her with a disapproving look. With a wave to the two of them, I set off toward the chapel. In all honesty, I didn't expect Sister Basquiat to be here. While I hadn't intended to actually following through with the excuse I gave, Sister Basquiat was indeed waiting here at my destination. In the still, otherwise deserted chapel, I find her knelt in prayer before the figure of Christ. It strikes me as distinctly a different act to the prayers she performs in front of us for the classroom or during chapel services. This looks like Sister Basquiat's offering up her personal prayers. When my footsteps echo through the quiet of the chapel, she slowly raises her head as though surfacing from a dream and turns toward me. Perhaps here, in front of God, she'll feel compelled not to hide anything from me. Ha ha! Tell me who Shion Basquiat is! You wouldn't hide anything in front of me in front of your God, would you? Devious plan. Her face is shrouded in shadow, but the smile playing across her lips seems almost seductive. Oh my. I walk closer until I'm face to face with her. She greets me with the same statuesque smile as always. She seems pleased to hear that. Ignoring the voice whispering in my ear, I pick a topic that I think will engage her and initiate a conversation. The casual chat is something I wouldn't have been able to manage until just recently. I make a slightly barbed joke, to which Sister Basquiat responds with a laugh. The situation alone would have been unimaginable to me back at the start of spring. Then, choosing my timing carefully, I broached the topic. Okay, of course. Did you ever learn grave making, maybe?
私がいいえ、彼が必要だと考えたものは全て収めました。あの人の代わりになるためには必要なことでした。
She looks up at the figure of Christ above us, studiously ignoring the voice inside me, which has now risen to a clamor. I press on. Oh, wow, we're just going, huh? All right. Oh, that's already touched a nerve when Sister Basquiat gives you the side eye. Something you done messed up. Ever so slowly, she lowers her gaze back down to mine. Neither her eyes nor her expression reveal anything. There's no anger there. In fact, there's no emotion at all. She's regarding me with a completely blank expression. Despite the hallowed atmosphere, the hair on my arms stands on end as a coldness distinct from the sharp chill of winter rushes through my body. Although it lasts only a few seconds, it feels like we hold one another's gaze for eternity. She just leaves? Then, without saying another word, Sister Basquiat leaves the chapel? Now that she's gone, I let out a long breath of air as I finally unthought. Well, I don't think we're getting the... If she ain't gonna answer a question about her father's last name, then we are certainly not getting any answers about Suoh Basquiat. Yeah, that's definitely suspicious. If at any point you thought, nah, certainly there cannot be anything suspicious about Dahlia Basquiat, certainly now you must be thinking differently. A wintry breath ghosts across my ear. My stepmother whispers to me, I've arrived at the conclusion that some piece of the puzzle of Mayuri's disappearance lies in Sister Basquiat's past. Again, my stepmother's voice reverberates through me. Fighting back a tide of nausea, I gaze up at the statue of Christ just as she did. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and call this one here. Getting a little late, and I've got places to be tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead and stop there for now. But that's certainly progress. We're certainly starting to move forward. I don't know. I mean, obviously the direct approach, maybe not the best one. It's the obvious one for certain, but maybe, you know, we're gonna have to try a different angle, because even just mentioning that she might have a hint of a scrap of a fraction of knowledge about anything. Like Dahlia was just like, nope, I'm up out of here. Y'all can just handle this on your own. That's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out, because I don't think she looked none too pleased to me. But we'll hopefully find out more about that next time. So, as always, thank you so much for coming out and stopping by. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you have a nice rest of your whatever, wherever it is that you are. And we'll catch you next time.